Game 2, Western Conference Finals, Thursday night, Minnesota, Oklahoma City side, total player props, all coming up free for you right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. I've done every NBA playoff game every day this postseason. I will continue to do so. All I ask is a thumbs up, like, and a positive comment below, and let's keep it rolling here. Game 2, Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN, and it was looking pretty good early on for Minnesota in Game 1 on Tuesday night. Had a 4-point outright halftime lead, but the wheels fell off in the second half. Third quarter, they got outscored by 14, down by 10 entering the fourth, and then OKC opened it up. A couple things, though, that jumped out to me about Game 1 was obviously Minnesota played them tight early, and they did have foul trouble. And we're going to talk about that with some player props here in a moment. But the big news is that Jalen Williams was in foul trouble all game. McDaniels. I meant to say McDaniels was in foul trouble all game for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and he did foul out with 6 fouls, only played 23 and a half minutes, was never a factor, only took 5 shot attempts. Anthony Edwards also had foul trouble for Minnesota, 4 fouls overall, but he was limited a bit as well, 36 minutes, only 13 shot attempts. He had only 18 points. McDaniels had only 7. Jalen Williams only had 2 fouls. I meant to say Hartenstein, we're going to talk about him in a moment, had some foul trouble with 4, and Dort had 5 fouls for OKC. So fouls were an issue, and SGA was somewhat getting his way, and that's going to be a problem. If they're calling the game the same the rest of the series, and Minnesota's in trouble, but I don't think they're going to call it that way. SGA needs to get to the hoop, and I think Minnesota's defense locks him down a little bit better here in Game 2. By the way, SGA finished with 31. He always hovers right around that number of 30, 31 points, it seems, all season long. Minnesota did get outplayed, as I mentioned, in the second half. And it's a little surprising because you would have thought, if anything, Oklahoma City would have come out strong in the first half after the Game 7 momentum and then cooled off. But it was the exact opposite. They turned it on the second half. But they also were extremely strong from three-point range. They finished 11 for 21, 52% from beyond the arc. Minnesota was just 15 for 51, 29%. So once again, a 52 to 29% three-point edge for OKC was the reason this game turned into a blowout, along with the foul trouble. I think those things reverse here in Game 2. I told you going into the series, I thought Minnesota was a live dog, and really nothing has changed from Game 1. The blowout loss has not made me change my opinion. I think this is an evenly matched series, and we are definitely getting some value now with the Timberwolves. If you want to slide in and take that adjusted series price, anywhere from plus 450 to as high as 5-1 right now. So I do think Minnesota can win 4 of the next 6 and are a live dog still in the series. And my colleague at WagerTalk.com, Brian Power, had a great stat earlier this week that over the last several years, the team that has played less games so far in the playoffs, better rested basically, has gone 19-1 in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals headed into this round this year. That would have favored both the Pacers and the Timberwolves. So Minnesota is still a live dog, and I think there's some value now as high as 5-1 on the adjusted series price. And obviously, I think they're a live dog here in Game 2 as well on Thursday night. Currently, the line opened 8. It's down to 7.5, even some 7s out there. Definitely could take a look at them on the money line. If they're going to get back in the series, they probably need to win this one outright. They're around plus 240 on the money line. So I do think the T-Wolves money line plus 240 has some value as well if you're looking for a little bit of a long shot play here in game number 2. Let's look at the total here. Game 1 obviously stayed well under. It was a blowout. As I've often said, blowouts can lead to misleading high-scoring and low-scoring games. Minnesota did not do their part offensively, scoring just 88 points. And as I mentioned earlier, they were ice cold, just 29% from three-point range. And that's going to have to change, obviously, here in Game 2. And I do think they play better offensively. But OKC was the best defensive team in the league this year, most efficient defense. But keep in mind, Minnesota, the second most efficient defense heading in to this round of the playoffs in the postseason. These are the 2 best defensive teams so far in the postseason. So there is a reason why this total is so much lower than the regular season. Keep in mind, when these teams played 3 times in February, the total was around 228, 229. Game 1 was around 219, landed 202 in the blowout. Teams kind of took their foot off the gas in the fourth quarter, if you will, the other night in game number 1. Even though they had 60 points there, it was kind of playground basketball. But the pace was extremely slow in the first half, first 3 quarters. So for good reason, the odds makers have bumped this total lower down to about 214, but they actually opened it as low as 213.5. I will say there's some sharp money on the over, though. It bumped from 213.5 up to 214.5 on Wednesday, but probably the sharpest book in the world, Pinnacle, is at 215. So once again, Mostly 214, 214 and a half, but the sharpest book in the world, Pinnacle, is at 215. So I'd say there's a little bit of a sharp money lean on the over here in game two, as the betting market maybe is over-adjusted a little bit based on the low-scoring game one. By the way, I use oddslogic.com for these live odds, sharp books, square books, injury updates, opening lines. If you'd like to try OddsLogic for free for 7 days, go to oddslogic.com/SM for a free 7-day trial. That link is also posted on my homepage right now at WagerTalk.com. So once again, free 7-day trial of OddsLogic, real-time odds, injuries, and score updates. Same information I use, same information the sports books use. You can get it for free for 7 days by going to oddslogic.com/SM. Let's look at some player props. We've been doing well with the player props here throughout the playoffs. And as I told you, we couldn't take too much away from the regular season meetings because Gobert and Randall both missed all 3 games in the month of February, and these teams most recently played. So I really kind of wanted to dig into game one to see how it played out. Unfortunately, with the foul trouble for Minnesota and the eventual blowout win for OKC, once again, we can't read too much into the box score. But there were a few things that jumped out to me. First of all, as I said earlier, Jaden McDaniels had only 23 and a half minutes because he fouled out, 7 points, only 5 shot attempts. I do think his over is worth a look here in game number 2. I expect him to play a full game, most likely stay out of foul trouble, and get over his 11 and a half. And what's interesting is the betting market had him at 12 and a half for basically the entire Golden State series and also game 1. Now he's set at 11 and a half. So it's been bumped down really for the wrong reason, in my opinion. I like Jaden McDaniels to get over 11 and a half points and have a better game overall. So all of his different props, points, rebounds, whatever you want to look at, I think McDaniels overs are worth a look. Same thing for Anthony Edwards. He did go to the locker room with a brief ankle injury. Again, he came back. He was limited with fouls, 4 fouls. Only played 36 minutes. Only took 13 shot attempts. But I would expect him to have a good game. If I expect them to bounce back, as I think they will, Edwards will probably do the heavy lifting. A lot of variance, by the way, on his props. He was around 26 and a half, 27 points in the Golden State series. He was only 24 and a half in game 1, landed 18 in limited minutes. And now you see him anywhere from 23 and a half to 25 and a half. So shop around. We'll say 24 and a half, but FanDuel has 23 and a half to the over. So I do think Edwards over 23 and a half at FanDuel is worth a look for total points. If I look for the T-Wolves to have a better game 2, then you got to expect those 2 guys to bounce back. And of course, Randall has some nice matchup edges in this series. We talked about that going into game 1. Even though he didn't play a lot in the regular season meetings, I do think he'll have a good series. He was 9 for 13, finished with 28 points, 5 for 6 from 3. So he really can't shoot any better. And he might get a few less looks with McDaniels and Edwards playing more. So I'm a little neutral on Randall. He was at 19 and a half, got to 28. He's currently 18 and a half to 19 and a half. It'd be over a pass for Julius Randle, but he might not get quite as many shot attempts and probably won't shoot as well as he did in game number 1. On the OKC side, I earlier touched on SGA. If they keep giving the foul calls and he goes 11 for 14 from the line, he'll maybe get over, but he still only ended up with 31 points on 27 shot attempts. He was only 10 for 27 shooting. He always hovers right around that kind of key number of 31, so not a lot of value with SGA. We're never looking to fade superstars, but he's had 31, 32, 35, 31 in his last 4 playoff games, and he's priced at 31 and a half. So I think the market has him pretty accurate. One guy I will look to fade, though, in OKC, and I hinted at this earlier, is Isaiah Hartenstein, the big center, and I think he could regress a bit here in game number 2. I'm not sure how needed he is in this series, and he played only 19 and a half minutes in game 1. Now, yes, he had foul trouble with 4 personal fouls, but in 19 minutes, he scored 12 points. Wow, that seems impressive, right? Well, he was 6 for 8 from the field, never got to the free throw line, 6 for 8 shooting from the field, and still ended up with just 12 points. He's priced at 8.5. I think Hartenstein under 8.5 could be a sneaky underplay if you're looking for an OKC player to fade in game number 1. All right, there you go. By the way, Jalen Williams is a guy that's been a little dicey for us. We talked a lot about him in the previous series. Let's touch on him real quick. He's priced at 20.5. He only got to 19 in game 1, and he has now had 19 or less in 4 of his last 5 playoff games. So Jalen Williams is a guy to be careful with. He was only 7 for 18 shooting, did play 33 minutes. Kind of neutral on him. Would like to see him maybe have 1 or 2 bad games again, and then we'll come back with the overs. He's been a little up and down so far in this postseason. But I do like Hartenstein under, and then also some of those Minnesota guys I mentioned, such as McDaniels and Edwards, perhaps to the over. Gobert, by the way, only had 3 shot attempts in 21 minutes and only had 2 points. You know, I'm not a big fan of Gobert, and I would stay away from him probably in this round. There you go. Side, total, player props, adjusted series price. We gave you everything here for free in this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thumbs up, like, positive comments below, and let me know your thoughts. How are you playing Game 2 Thursday night between the T-Wolves and Thunder? Do you think Minnesota is still in this series, or does OKC deserve to be over a 1-6 favorite now to make the NBA Finals? SGA also pretty heavy favorite now, over 2-1, or 1-2 rather, to be the MVP for the NBA Finals. They're not out of the conference finals yet even, and he's already minus money to win the MVP for the overall series in the NBA Finals. And OKC is over minus 200 now to win the championship. They'll be favored, obviously, pretty heavy over either the Pacers or the Knicks. But I still think Minnesota's alive in this series. We'll see how Game 2 plays out Thursday night, 8:30 Eastern on ESPN. But truly, include your comments below. I do read them. I reply back, and include some analysis if you have time. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. I honestly believe we have the sharpest and smartest viewers right here on this channel. And there's over 200,000 of you. If you haven't clicked subscribe, I'm sure you have, but just double check. Over 200,000 subscribers. Can't be wrong. Join the family for free. Click subscribe and also click that bell so you get an instant alert when these videos are posted every day. We're doing every NBA playoff game every day, East and Western Conference Finals alternating, which means I'm going to get these up a little bit earlier since there's just one game each day. So you'll get an instant alert. You can be the first to watch the day before when I get these up nice and early in advance. And I'm also doing a lot of free baseball videos throughout the week. You'll get an instant alert as well when you click that bell, when you subscribe here on WagerTalk TV. On the way out, I want to tell you about a couple special offers that just popped up this week at WagerTalk.com. First of all, there's a site-wide special Memorial Day to Labor Day for one low price for about $5 a day. And every day you sign up before Memorial Day this week, you get for free. So once again, it's a Memorial Day to Labor Day special, but you also get all these bonus days the rest of this week for free. And that is it works out to just about $5 a day for all sports. It's called the Summer Celebration, just under $5 a day. So check that out on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Or if you're ready to take a serious long-term investment approach, a couple offers. First of all, we got the one-year all-access back with promo code SM365. That gets it down to $3 a day, $1 a play. It's going to get all baseball, basketball, football, college, and pro, all 5 sports I do for the next 365 days and nights. Or if you want baseball only, and I want to talk about baseball for a moment. I know this is the NBA video, but the NBA is winding down. Yes, we have best bets still going. Most of you are on board for the rest of the NBA finals, NBA playoffs through the finals. And by the way, very low prices available right now for the rest of the NBA. I think there's through the finals is just $95 on my page. It was $125. We slashed it down to $95 for the next month of the NBA. But baseball is going to be your bread and butter sport. And right now we have 2 special baseball offers. We have the 7-day pass as always for $79, 30-day pass for $189. But we also have a 2-month right now through the All-Star game for $499. But with promo code STAR399, you get an instant $100 discount and get it down to $399. That's every baseball best bet every day for the next 2 months plus through the All-Star game in mid-July for just $399 with promo code STAR399. STAR399 gets you every baseball best bet for the next couple months. And that works out to less than $5 a day as well. And by the way, baseball was incredible this time last year. It's been incredible again this year on a nice run. And it's no surprise we did this last season. We got monster hot as we headed into the summer. In fact, by the end of August, my all sports clients were up over 100 units of profit already, more than doubled our bankroll by the end of August. So once again, if you want to try the Memorial Day to Labor Day special, get the rest of this week for free when you sign up in advance. Or if you want baseball only, that $399 till the All-Star special with promo code STAR399 is a great offer. By the way, you don't have to memorize these special offers, promo codes. I know I threw a lot at you. All of these are listed on my homepage right now. The Labor Day special, the 2-month baseball special, the 1-year all-access for $1 a play for football, basketball, and baseball, and even that 7-day odds logic free trial. Every promo code, every special offer, they're all on my homepage right now, along with a bonus free play. That's right, it gets even better. I post a bonus free play every day on my page. It's so simple. I have 2 to 3 best bets on average. Same games I'm using are the exact same games my personal clients get every day. Plays are emailed directly to you with analysis. You can log into WagerTalk to get them as well. It takes about 5 minutes a day to get the plays, put them in, shop for the best line, of course. I hope you're line shopping. Put them in and set it and forget it. It's a long-term investment approach. I've won consistently for 29 years since I started in 1996 as a full-time professional handicapper. That's 4 decades of excellence. And you get the exact same games I'm using, whether it's a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, or a 1 year package. Nothing else ever to buy. But there's always a last cut, right? And that last cut's a pretty strong opinion still. So I post that as a bonus free play for those of you still building your bankroll, doing your own handicapping. So check out my page every day for the bonus free play, and check out those special offers and the strong daily best bets as well. You can also see my last 20 best bets recapped at the bottom, a rolling recap every day, win or lose. My best bets are posted afterwards every day, and you can click on them to read the analysis as well. Make it a daily habit, part of your handicapping routine, to go to my homepage and become a better. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. On the way out, follow me on social media. By the way, I post links to these videos, the daily free plays, the special offers I mentioned. They're all posted on my Twitter feed. Follow me on X and Instagram at Steve Merril. You see it on the bottom of the screen, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you know there's more free play videos coming up next.